So the purpose of this video is to show you how to create a residual plot on your graphing calculator. You obviously want to have in your stat menu, you want to have your data entered already. So hit edit here and make sure you have your data that you want in L1 and L2. Check that you have your scatter plot already made. So second stat plot. I can see in here that I've got my plot on, and then I've got L1 and L2. That's a quick way to check that. And you can always hit zoom 9 to take a quick look at your scatter plot of the data. Okay. Now before you can create a residual plot, you need a linear regression model, because if you don't have that stored in your calculator, you don't have any residuals. So a reminder of the way to do that: you hit stat, then go over to calc. There are two options here. For a typical algebra class, you're going to use this where it's in y equals mx plus b form. In statistics, we usually use option 8 here, where they put the constant first and then the x term second. Okay, so we're going to use option 8 here. Again, make sure you have the right list in there, L1, L2, and what I often do is I store this equation in y1. That way I can look at tables and find specific values involved in here, and then I can also see it on the graph menu as well. So the way to get to y1 here is you hit the vars button, then go to the right, hit y vars, functions, and then y equals. Okay. I know that's an annoying process and not something most people will memorize, but you know, this is how to work with the graphing calculator. So you hit calculate, and it gives you your summary statistics. Your y-intercept is about 99, your slope is about negative 8.9, your coefficient of determination about 9.94, and your correlation is about negative 0.97. Okay, so what that does is it calculates obviously your line of best fit, but then your calculator will also create a list of residuals for each of the points that you typed into L1, L2. Okay, and if you want to see that list, there is an option. If you hit second and then stat, you see option number 7 is your residuals. If you want to see those actual numbers, you can enter them into your stat menu. What I did already is I went in and hit enter here under stat and then edit, and then in L3 I just went up to the top and highlighted that, and I entered my residuals by doing second stat again to get my list, and I typed option 7 and hit enter, and that entered all of the residuals into L3 for me. So I could just take a look at them individually here. Obviously the sum of these will be 0 or close to 0, but if you wanted to plot those as a residual plot, the way to do that is to go back into your stat plot menu. So second, y equals. This time we actually want to go in and change some things. So we're going to keep most of this the same. We're going to keep it on. We're going to keep it as a scatter plot. The only difference is when we graph a residual plot, we keep our x values, but our y list changes from the individual values of y to the residuals. So you're just going to adjust this and get rid of L2 and change it with your residuals. So option number 7 here. Okay. And then from there, you're going to want to hit zoom 9 again to change your menu, and you see the graph here. Now initially when you do this, you're going to see the line of best fit will still show up. If you want to get rid of that, you can just go in and hit y equals and go over to the equal sign and just hit enter, and that'll turn that off. Okay, so this is your residual plot, and then you can make your decisions about whether or not the linear fit is appropriate here. Okay, thank you very much for watching.